Hi, I thought I'd take a look at Softubes parallels today. I don't normally do reviews of soft synths, but this one's a bit different to most, so I think it's worth a look. It's not like most standard synths in that the parallels oscillators are long waveforms that have been recorded from a collection of some guy in Sweden that's got a sort of collection in a music store. There's a video of him on the Softube website on the intro for this, which looks really cool. So we're not starting as we would with normal sample-based instruments with a sort of short looped waveform that's mapped across the keyboard. We have these sort of long evolving waveforms. So imagine if this was a sort of standard display, you'd have it from left to right and you'd move across the waveform. These have been wrapped around these knobs here, which is a really neat way of doing it. And the basic premise of the synth is that you create patches that drift through these. So you set your start point through here. So this little line, there's your start point. And then you have an envelope generator here, so a attack, decay and amount, which moves the sounds through this waveform. So let's just try that with this. And using that ethos, it's got some amazing presets. I'll record a selection of these and even stick it at the end of this video or on another video, but there are some really amazing sounding things here. I mean, imagine trying to program that on a standard synth. I don't know where you'd start. So, you know, just picking 3 or 4 straight away there, you know, you can hear the power that lies in this. I found it's absolutely amazing for evolving pads and sort of ambient textures. Really fantastic. But I have been on a bit of a journey with it, because when I start playing with a new synth, I normally reduce things to the sort of basic waveforms, or a sawtooth or a square, and then start moving from the oscillators to the filters and the envelope generators. It's got all of that on this, and it's got the modulation section, and it's got effects. So it's got all the same blocks, but the actual starting block is different. So let's just go back to a really basic one. So this is the default sound. So first thing I do is sort of turn everything else off. So this is the modulation routines on the left hand side here, called mod pods. So somebody should have got a bonus for calling them that, I think. LFOs, random Euclidean, envelope, and a 16-step sequencer. All really nice. And over here you've got distortion, chorus, flanger, delay, and reverb. The reverb's quite epic actually. So I've just got it on one oscillator and I've taken the filter off. So we start off thinking, what's that? Whoa, 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 whoa. And at the end of the one shot, or the envelope that you've created, it loops around certain points. So let's try it over here. So I started off thinking, oh, this is a bit odd. Wouldn't it be nice to set your own loop points? But I suppose you get clicks and that then, and then it turns into a sampler. So if you want a long shot, maybe you do a one shot and you start it where you want to start it. Let's just add some release. And now you're taking advantage of the fact that it's got all the movement in the pad. So it's got all that interesting sound going on, but without the vibrato. So instantly I start thinking, okay, you've got to approach this in a slightly different way. You've got to look at these as 100 different waveforms that you're playing through those waveforms, and you can add effects to, and you can, as you would with a standard sample, you've got your start point and then you've got an envelope to move through that. But on most samplers you can't change the speed you move through it. So let's have a look at this. Let's do a nice slow attack. Turn the amount up. Take it off one shot. So with the normal sample, it would play that at whatever speed you recorded it, but this is now flying through it really quickly. Or really slowly. So it's approaching sample playback in a completely different way. So I'm not going to do a complete walkthrough here because Softube have uploaded some great videos with their own irrepressibly enthusiastic George Reese. He's like the Ben Fogle of the synth world. For most people that probably don't know who Ben Fogle is, he's this sort of annoyingly sort of handsome and chirpy guy that's on British TV all the time. And for some reason, this guy reminds me of him. I hate handsome guys. And he talks about the general ethos of the machine and how all the different sections work. But I'm approaching this from, I play synths, I love synths, I need sounds for my tracks. How does this work? How does that fit in with my workflow? But as I say, I've been on a real journey from thinking it was a bit clunky when I first started out playing it to now thinking it's absolutely amazing for getting some real nice textures and pads really quickly. And just to mention there that this intro track, let's get rid of this. This was created using 8 instances of parallel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then a few drum samples at the top as well. And you can see the CPU hit's not massive at all. Let's just, I'll turn this one off because I've just changed the sound, so that'll be a bit weird. CPU's hovering around half. It's an old machine. This is 2009, but it is 12 core, so it's quite powerful. But you can see, if you're running, there was running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see it's not a CPU hog, which means, well, to me it means that they've been really efficient and done some nice programming there. Okay, so let's have a look at making something from scratch. Let's try and make a sort of a moving pad, as that's what we've been talking about. So looking at, just got the one oscillator on at the minute. So really nice for ambience, isn't it? Some nice digital tones here. Well, that sounds like a pad. Let's use that one. As with any sample-based instrument, you've got to know your samples. And once you get to know where to look for stuff, it makes things a lot easier. So I've instantly got something that sounds quite nice there, haven't we? Sort of a bit cheating. Okay, let's put a state variable filter on. Bit of bandpass, just knock out a little bit of the lows. And let's maybe add, I don't know, like a sequence to that, shall we? Let's make it just 8 long. I'm just playing with it to get something that sounds quite nice. Not bad. So we've already got a nice little pad with some movement in there. Let's add the second oscillator. Let's just turn that one off here, what this one is. Turn. Okay, so that's quite harsh. Let's just see what I've got in here at the minute. And then let's it's nice toned down a bit. C, what have we got on C? There we go. So let's add another LFO in there, a slower one. Let's put on LFO. Let's put it as a triangle. There we go. Nice slow one. Add that to there. D. A bit slower. Add it to this. Just reduce the modulation on that a little bit. I have to say that would have took me, you know, with standard tools that'd take ages, wouldn't it? See what else we can throw in there. What have we got on FM? FM mallet. Lower the octave. Try another one. And as you start playing with it, you just start coming up with hundreds of different textures and sounds. It's incredible the variation you get just by sitting down and having a little play with this thing. I'd encourage everyone to pick it up and have a little play about with it. It's not ideal for a first synth. It's definitely not an only synth, because when I was trying to do this sort of demo track, I was having difficulty adding little lead lines and stuff because everything's so atmospheric in this. But for the atmospherics in the background, I could have literally chosen about 50% of them and done something useful with them. So let's have a look at presets for that. I used one called Inner Landscape. Let's look for it. I'll just type it in. Inner Landscape. So this was the main sort of pad I started with. So that's a lovely sort of weird sound, isn't it? I thought I was going to do something sort of ambient and odd, but I was in a bit of a happy mood, obviously, last night. And it all ended up a bit major key and nice. So if we just put that back in there. I sidechain that as well with a kick, but I won't bother showing you how I did that now. Other instruments I've got in here. Now, one thing that really does sort of actually annoy me about it is that maybe I'm doing something wrong here, but I'll go back into this instrument. It's called Instrument 4, but I don't know what it is. Let's go where we go. Default instrument. So maybe I've started something off from scratch, but I don't think so. You load an instrument in, and it doesn't tell me what the instrument is. So when I've been playing around with a preset, for example, load something in. Let's have a look. Bliss Atmosphere. Let's try that. And now I get rid of the preset screen, and I don't know what it is. And that sounds really, really stupid. But when you're writing a track and you think, which one was that? That was a nice one on track 7, and then you open a different instance of it, and then you change the preset on one and not the other. Oh, it really frustrates me. So maybe something they could have there, just a little title of the preset on the top. But don't want to end on a bad note, because as I say, it's a fabulous synth. There's a 20-day demo, so well worth a look.